Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Kaldheim draft here on the channel. Before I dive in, I do want to remind you that if you enjoy the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment in the comment section down below with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. And if you would like to catch me streaming live, you can find me at twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas. If you'd like to support my content directly, you can do so via the Patreon at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Okie doke, so here we have opened up a very good rare. Cosima, God of the Voyage, is pretty good in draft because you often have time on turn 3 to play her, get a couple of cards from her Voyage, and then bring her back as like a 5/7 draw 3, which is usually good enough to win the game. Alternatively, the Omen Keel is a very good vehicle early on because it's hard to block a 3/3 that is attacking on turn 3, so you can draw some cards that way. So I think this card is probably going to be taken over every common and uncommon early on in a draft. The uncommons are also pretty good. Vengeful Reaper is pretty solid. Runed Crown does go well if you have some runes. In the commons section, I think Bergstrider and Demon Bolt are both very good. I think I would lean towards Demon Bolt, but Bergstrider's quite good. Hey, MTG Nerd Girl, how are you doing today? But I'm going to start with Cosima. It's fun to play with Cosima. But yeah, really cool art. It's cool. I like this double face card because it's got an early component and like a late component, though in the super late game it's not really a good top deck, so it's not for that way. But I think I'd take Demon Bolt second, but Bergstrider's close. Okie doke, so we've started with Cosima, which means we want to play blue, and we get to snap up a great blue card in Behold the Multiverse. Helps us find Cosima more frequently, also helps us hit land drops if we have Cosima in like the Voyage zone. So pretty easy Behold the Multiverse here, I think. It also keeps us mono-colored, which is nice, and it's two pretty powerful cards. If this weren't in the pack, it would be a lot trickier of a pick. Battleshield Warrior doesn't really go with Cosima because this is more of a late-game card. This is more of a go-wide aggressive card. Horizon Seeker is also like a consideration. The land drops do go well with Cosima, but you don't want to load up on 3-drops too much. Liara Mirror Lake is really good, but only for blue-green. Starnheim Courser's like a nice card a lot of the time in certain decks. But this pack would be pretty bad if there wasn't a Behold the Multiverse. I think I would probably end up taking Mirror Lake because the highest upside, followed by Horizon Seeker maybe. But I could see an argument for even something like Tormentor's Helm, just if you wanted to like hedge against aggro deck, or maybe Battleshield Warrior. I'm a little bit higher on this card than the rest of the world, I think. Whoa! Immediately into a jam. I think this is another Behold the Multiverse pick. As Marshall Sutcliffe would say, always be holding. If you never listened to Limited Resources, it's a podcast about Limited. Highly recommend it. I listen to it every week. It's real nice. It's LSV and Marshall. And if you don't know who they are, they're like really, he's been playing for a long time. He commentates, and LSV is like a really good pro. So if you haven't listened to it and you're one of my viewers, I would recommend it if you're a podcast fan. But I think we're just going to take Behold here. Svella is nice. I do like it, but I think committing to 2 colors that I'm not already playing is a little bit risky because I could just be blue anything here. I could be blue-black. I could be blue-green. Blue-green would be a fine spot to end up, and that would let me play Svella too. But when the cards are comparable, I think Svella is like a decent amount better than Behold, maybe like a full letter grade even. But the fact that I already have a blue card, it just like locks me into blue and lets me guaranteed that I play my card. I did not get a haircut. My hair just is like patted down or something. So I know what you're saying, but yeah, I did not get a haircut. So in this pack, there is a Run Ashore as a blue card. I think it's better than Depart the Realm. Oftentimes you're not casting Depart the Realm until later anyway, because you're trying to get like value out of it. So you're like bouncing a creature with an ETB or something of that nature. And then you just get the added bonus of putting one of their permanents on top of their deck at the same time. So I think Run Ashore is better than Depart the Realm. Snow-Covered Island can be nice, especially if we have like Bergstriders coming up down the line. I think we do want to take either Run Ashore or the Snow-Covered Island. I'm not really a big fan of Frost Augur. Reckless Crew, I guess, does work with the Omen Keel, but not really a card you're going to be playing a lot of the time. And these other cards aren't really worth moving into another color. The Frostpire in particular, not really worth it. I think this is a fine low opportunity cost chance to pick up a Snow Island. If I do get a Bergstrider, I'm going to want a few Snow Islands, and they can be hard to get. Or if I open up an ice something or other, what's it called? Avalanche Caller, not Ice Kraken. But I I think Snow-Covered Island is a pretty nice pickup, and Run Ashore is a card that I can get a little bit later. In this pack, it looks like white is like a little bit open because this card is pretty good, but I'm just probably going to snap up. Saw it coming. It's not inherently super powerful because it is expensive to use, but it's really nice when you have two Behold the Multiverses because it gives you the flexibility of you just have a couple cards Beheld, and then you can either cast your Behold or you can counter something. So I like that. This isn't really a Raven form deck at the moment. Raven form is very narrow. You really need to have like a couple Mistwalkers or Augur Ravens or things like that. I think after the Saw It Coming, I would take the Shieldmate over the Dwarven Reinforcements, but that's a little bit close just because I like the red better than white. But this card is better, I think, just because the 2-drop is important. Wow! This is a heck of a pack. Now, the initial thought might be, oh, why not take Frostpire Arcanist? Because you already have two Behold the Multiverses, and it is a blue card. But I think here, Demon Bolt so late is a really good signal. I think this card is just a decent amount better than the Frostpire Arcanist and the Augury Raven, and I'm willing to go into a second color because one of the things that pairs best with card draw is cheap removal, and Demon Bolt is very efficient. It kills pretty much everything you want. Blue-red is a very good color combination in the set. There's a couple other red cards, a couple other blue cards. This is one of the reasons I'm okay not taking Run Ashore, because I see another one here. I'll probably get one of them later if I want it. But I think Augury Raven, more of an aggressive card. Frostpire Arcanist, I do have the Beholds, but I'd rather just take the Demon Bolt. I'm fine going towards blue-red here. And now I get to snap up a Bergstrider. Really happy to have had that Snow-Covered Island. And so these sorts of picks are working out. Snow-Covered Mountain would probably be my second pick out of the pack just for future Bergstriders or any Frostbites that I get in my colors. So Bergstrider's nice, followed by the Mountain, and then followed by Pilfering Hawk. It's looking like we're settling into potentially a deck, though we only have the one Demon Bolt. It's just looking like kind of like our colors are open. Ferocious Pup is all right. There's not really anything else too powerful. White also might be open. So I think the person passing to us might be playing green-black elves or something of that nature. But easy Bergstrider here. Bergstrider is great. What? 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 I'm so confused. What? There's a Avalanche Caller. There's a Behold the Multiverse. Reflections is not bad. This card's actually a reasonable card. I'm so confused. This card is like a very good uncommon. Behold the Multiverse is fantastic. I do like Reflections, and it's a pretty cool card. But I think Avalanche Caller is just better. It's a cheap play that you can play early and then just kind of wins you the game late. And then, yeah, I like Reflections, but I don't really have a deck for it as much. My deck is going to be relatively creature light. Just, okay. And I do want to prioritize some Snowlands, I guess. I think Avalanche Caller. Since I already have two Beholds, I need to put... first of all, I think Avalanche Caller is just better than the Behold the Multiverse, so I can kind of immediately weigh out the Behold the Multiverse. And then Avalanche Caller versus Reflections. Avalanche Caller is just so much more reliable. It gives me an early play. It can win me the game later. And when you have a couple of cards that care about snow, like if I have a Bergstrider, taking another snow card helps me like put the extra emphasis on the Snowlands to make my cards good. So now that I have two Bergstriders and an Avalanche Caller, I can start taking the Snowlands like a little bit higher in priority. I'm not going to be able to play the... maybe I could play Yarrow Mirror Lake. I don't have any real reason to play red other than the one Demon Bolt. I guess Invasion of Giants does work well with double Bergstrider. But if I end up opening a good green card, Yarrow Mirror Lake is really good, and Blue-Green Snow is a good place. So I'm just going to take the Yarrow Mirror Lake. I'm not a huge fan of this card. I played it a couple times. I've had it played against me. It's never been a card that's really impressed me. So I'm just going to take the Mirror Lake, because there is a chance that I open up a really good green card in the second pack and want to transition. And I haven't really seen that much red other than the super late Demon Bolt, which is a red signal, but yeah. I'm just going to take the Frostpire now. It's nice to get value from your lands. And Axguard Cavalry is nice, but I think I'll just get value from my lands if I end up in blue-red. And now another Frostpire. A little bit of removal if I do end up in blue-red. And now Snow-Covered Forest. We'll leave ourselves open to the option of maybe playing blue-green snow that splashes red for a Demon Bolt. That's something that we could definitely end up with here. And we did get the Run Ashore that we wanted. We do want one copy of this in our deck a lot of the time. And the last pick, Ferocious Pup, could mean that red is open, because if there was another red deck, remember this pack had Ferocious Pup and there was only one other red card in that entire pack. So we ended up in a very good spot after pack 1. It's looking like, based on our pack 2 opening, basically what we were doing with this Lityara Mirror Lake hedge pick and the Snow-Covered Forest hedge pick, I guess that we weren't really taking this over much, was we were hoping that, like, we were leaving ourselves open to the possibility of opening some really good green card, like an Asika's Chariot or a Coma or something like that, and actually having the tools to build around it a little bit. But given that in this pack, the best card is Demon Bolt by a wide margin, we already have the tools to support Red-Blue. Red-Blue looked open because we got the Frostpyres late. Like, if there's a Red-Blue draft, they take that over things. We got last pick Fearless Pup because, like, why would anyone pass that if they were red? Because it's like a playable card. Snow Mountain would probably be my second pick out of the pack over, like, Vega as like a hedge pick, but pretty easy Demon Bolt. And we're kind of all hands on deck here now. We really do want to get some Snowlands to go with these Bergstriders and Avalanche Callers, but because we have so many of them, we can justify taking them pretty highly. Yeah, we took the one Demon Bolt over the Frostpyre, though, so we're chilling. Okay, in this pack, it's not great, but I think we do get to take an Axe Guard Cavalry here. It's not amazing to have a 2-drop that's in my off color, but it is kind of nice to have Cavalry as just a 2-drop that can, like, speed up my Bergstriders. It's like a tempo play, and just having 2-drops is nice. You do need to make sure you don't get run over. I'm not a huge fan of Narfi's Betrayal. I'm not going to take the Forest because I think now that I have 2 Demon Bolts and I'm kind of past the point of opening up a good card in green or getting past a good green card, I'm pretty much just hoping to get paid off in blue, and I'll just take the Cavalry to make sure I get there on 2-drops. Blue doesn't have a ton of good 2-drops for my deck. Okay, ooh. This is interesting. There's an Avalanche Caller number 2. There's also a Mistwalker. Mistwalker is good. It doesn't work particularly well with my deck because I don't have any cards that will specifically pay me off for having Giants or Changelings. It is just a good card on its own. I still think I'm going to take the Avalanche Caller. Hi, Antonio. It is a higher upside pick than Mistwalker, but it's lower downside. Having just a couple of 2-mana 1/3s that'll randomly animate lands is nice. And now I have a lot of snow payoffs, so I am going to be taking the Snowlands very highly. And I do not have a ton of great 2-drops, especially blue 2-drops. Like Avalanche Caller, just playing it as a 2-mana 1/3 to stop some beatdowns from 2/1s and 2/2s is definitely something I can see myself doing a decent amount. We're going to be prioritizing Snowlands. Oh, this is the classic greed situation. I might just take Alpine Meadow at some point for the off-color activation on all my snow stuff. But for now, I'm just going to be greedy, take the Bergstrider. I have a pack and a half to get Snow Islands, Snow Mountains, and then I might even play this Snow Forest as an off-color Snowland in this deck because my mana is decent, only single pips, a lot of like card draw and things like that. So pretty happy getting another Bergstrider. Fearless Liberator is much worse in my deck because I have decent ways to spend my mana and I'm not really super aggressive. So I think this is just a nice time to pick up a Bergstrider. Really good. I'm just going to be taking the Snowlands over everything pretty much, except Avalanche Callers, of course, because why not be Avalanche Caller Tribal? If you're going to go with one Avalanche Caller, why not go for the whole kit and caboodle? Replicating Ring would be solid, I think, in this deck because it does actually facilitate Bergstrider. Like turn 3 this, turn 4 Bergstrider with the card draw to like make up for the disadvantage of playing a Replicating Ring. But I'm just going to keep taking the Avalanche Callers and hoping to get on-color Snowlands. It's a little bit of a shame because forests are generally high-priority Snowlands, and we just aren't seeing any. Like, all of the Snowlands have been in the packs, and we just aren't seeing ones in our colors. This one is missing a Snowland, which probably means that someone did take a Snow Island or Mountain, or it was just a duel that they wanted. In this pack, there is Invasion of Giants and Bind the Monster. We currently have Run Ashore, 2 Demon Bolts as removal. Again, I'm not a huge fan of Invasion of the Giants. With 3 Bergstriders, though, it might be playable. It's like a free card draw scry. I might try it out. I'm going to give it a second chance. Bind the Monster is a solid card, but I'm just going to give it another shot. Mistwalker now. Really nice at pickup. Now that I have Invasion, just any giant that can make use of that is nice. I don't think anyone is card-cutting Snow World Rock. We saw like a 5th pick Snow Forest. We've gotten Snowlands just of the wrong colors. Now this is a pretty easy Rimewood Falls. We're going to play this as an off-color Snowland in our deck almost 100%. we just need Snowlands to trigger our Bergstriders. And so if we can get up to 4 Snowlands, Rhinewood Falls is an easy pickup over a Pilfering Hawk. And we're pretty happy about that. Yes! Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Wheeling the Snow Mountain. Yes. Wow, our deck just got so much better. 2 picks. Those 2 picks make a world of difference. And this wheeling means I don't think anyone else is playing snow. People have been like, oh, snow's so hard to get, snow's so hard to get. So people are kind of anti-snow now, and we're reaping the benefits of that. Oh, yes. And now we can take a Dwarven Reinforcements. We're not really in the market for Frostpeak Yetis, but maybe Reinforcements is okay. Yes, Mistwalker. We picked the Avalanche color, wheeled Mistwalker. We're the only blue drafter at this table. I'm fairly confident of that, given that there was a pack that had Avalanche color, Behold, and like Bergstrider or something absurd. We are in good shape here. And we get the Meadow. Let's go. Pretty happy to get the Meadow too. Having up to 4 Snowlands now. We're okay playing a couple of tap lands to facilitate our really good snow payoffs. Getting a Disdainful Stroke goes well with our Beholds and stuff. Yeah, Reflections of... You're right, good memory. Reflections would actually be really good in our deck. Okay, we'll take Strategic Planning, but okay. So what we're looking for is Snowlands. We kind of already have all the playables we need. You know, when you have playables, you might as well open up the Mythic Bomb Rare God that is in your colors. So, you know. Yes! All skill! How to win in Kaldheim Limited. Have nobody draft your color and open incredibly well. Nicolai hasn't drafted in a little bit on stream, and it's all coming back to him. I'm beginning to remember how this draft thing works, I think. You just open good cards. Thor and the Giants. Exactly. Boom. Okie doke. So what do we want here? There's a Blood on the Snow getting passed our way. We're probably just going to snap up another Behold the Multiverse. Gives us another controlling card. 3 Beholds is a little bit on the high side. I don't really put a ton of priority on this Behold. If there was a more reasonable card in the pack, I would take it. But we don't really have a reasonable card here. And so I think taking Behold is totally fine. Like I think I would take a Snow land that was on color over the Behold. Having these 2 off-color lands to get our count up to 4 is actually huge for us. Yeah, so pretty nice Behold pickup. It's still a good card. Okay. Oh my gosh, this pack is absurd. So, one thing that is a consideration in packs like this is the fact that all of the blue cards that we have seen have wheeled. So if we don't take the Mistwalker or Giant's Amulet, one of these is probably coming back because there's 1 or 0 other blue drafters at the table. So we're going to wheel one of these 2 cards, which means we can probably take a red card. I think Frostbite is nice, but it does get worse considering we don't have as much snow. And we have some 1/3s to kind of hold off the small creatures. I think Squash is a really nice pickup because we already have like removals for small things, and having 1 thing to kill a big creature is nice. And we have a decent number of Giants. Here, I think we take the Mistwalker. We already have 3 Beholds. We just want more creatures, and Mistwalker is a great way to stall the game and end the game. But I do like Behold a lot, but we don't need 4 copies. That was a tough pick, I think, between the Squash, but the fact is my deck currently can answer pretty much any threat except for, like, a Lindworm. And Lindworm is a really popular card these days. Everyone's been hyping it up in the content community, and having a card that can kill a Lindworm is really a big deal. Wow, Waking the Trolls. Wowza, we have Rhinewood Falls and Snow Forest. I don't think we need to splash it, though. Our card quality is high enough that we don't need to splash the Waking the Trolls. We can just take the Bergstrider number 4 over the Harbinger. Harbinger is also nice, but we have enough 2-drops here. I will say, I also want to let folks know, I did change the overlay for the draft portion so that you could see all of the picks, all the things on the side. I think that it will help people follow the draft portion better, and then during the matches, I'll go back to the overlay that I've been using. I think that'll be nice. Also, when your deck is really good, you don't have to take as many risks when it comes to splashing aggressively. Easy Snow Island. Every Snowland is great when you have 4 Bergstriders and 3 Avalanche Callers. And so that gives us up to 5 Snowlands, which is great. I don't think we're going to need to play the Dwarven Reinforcements. So we took Squash over a Snow Mountain. That was, and also over like Frostbite. I think we're going to wheel like the Mistwalker out of that pack or something. Oh, yes! Yes! Oh, baby! Woohoo! That's a good pickup. Who would have thought? Pack 3, pick 7. Agar the Freezing Flame. I am very happy with how this deck is shaping up. It's going to wheel. We're going to get it 15th pick. Oh, bets on the 15th pick Bergstrider. Another Snow Island. We are cruising. Let's go. Boom, bada boom. Okay. Now there's another Sod coming. There's also a Carful Harbinger to give us another 2-drop. I think we might want the Carful Harbinger. It gives us an early defensive body. We already have a Disdainful Stroke and a Sod coming, and this is really good with all of our Foretell. So I'm going to take the Harbinger here. I don't think we need a second Sod coming. It's a little bit of a slow card. And so I'm just going to take that. I think I'd rather have it than the Axguard Cavalry just because it lets me play a heavier blue components in the deck. Okay, so we'll take the Hagi Mob or maybe Mists. We're not going to need the Drag or Thought Thief. I think we actually take the Snow Mountain over the Mistwalker here. Our deck already has so many playables, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We already have 3 Mistwalkers. So I think we just take the Snow Mountain. We already have more than enough playables. And the more Snowlands, the more our Avalanche Callers get better. Lityara Kinseekers is pretty reasonable. Probably not going to play it, though. And the other reason is I kind of do want to get rid of the 2 tap lands that are Snowlands from the deck. Because now that I have 5 normal lands, and I have 2 Surtland Frostpyres, which mean that I don't want to have too many tap lands. So I might play one of the tap lands, but I don't think I want to play too many of them. And I'll take another Disdainful Stroke. This is one of the reasons I got to pass the Sod coming. And last pick, Pilfering Hawk. Yeah, a 4/4 Snowman. With 3 Avalanche Callers, every Snowland in the late game is going to be really valuable. So maybe I do just play these for extra late game insurance. I might play 18 lands in this deck because I do have such a powerful late game engine with the Avalanche Callers and things of that nature. So let's just add all the cards we could consider playing. We could technically play this. I don't think we're going to want to, though. We'd have like decent cards in the sideboard. We could potentially play that. And then we're going to want to make sure that our mana is as consistent as possible. So let's lay it out like this. So this is our curve here. We have 4, 5, so you have 3, 5, 6, 7 Snowlands. I think 7 Snowlands is great. I think we're going to run 18 lands here because we have 2 Surtland Frostpyres that we can sacrifice to scry. And all of these Snowlands with triple Avalanche Caller, the Snowlands are going to be really good. I think we're going to want to run 10 blue sources, 8 red sources, because red is just much less of a priority for our deck, so we don't need to go for a 9-9 split. We can probably cut the Invasion of Giants, even though it makes the Bergstrider cheaper. The deck just doesn't want to fall behind on turn 2. Scrying 2 is nice, though, so we will keep that in mind. I think taking the Squash worked out really well, and then getting the Mountain back. I'm really happy with how that worked out. So, let's think about what we need to cut here. We also have this Cosima just chilling. And we have triple Behold. So, let's think of the mana. I think we want to have 8 red sources. So 4, 6, 8. We can probably cut 1 normal mountain for... That gives us 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 red sources. And then we'll want to add extra 2 islands. So that gives us 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 14, 16, 18. That gives us 18 lands. We already have 3 Beholds to draw us cards. We have Cosima to draw us cards. We have Avalanche Caller to use the lands. We have this is a mana sink. So I think we're fine. And we have 2 Surtland Frostpyres we can sacrifice. So that means we need to make 5 cuts to the deck. Immediately I'm going to cut one Disdainful Stroke. I don't think we want two of those copy cards if we are going to be playing a deck that is this powerful. We don't need to play more niche cards like that. So, and then I'm just going through the cards and cuts World Rock. And then I'm going to cut Invasion of Giants as well. We can just play up the curve. Our curve is very good. We have a lot of Foretell cards that can also smooth out our curve. So I think Invasion of Giants is not necessary as a cost reduction. It's not going to be making a 7-drop like massively cheaper. It is okay when we have like all of these giants. We have 4, 5, 6, 7 giants that are not getting cut at all. I think I'm going to cut the Lityara Kinseekers. We have enough defensive bodies with the 3 Mistwalkers and the Lityara Kinseekers. The fact, even though every card in our deck is a wizard or a giant, 3 wizards, 4, 5 wizards, 6 wizards. I guess this isn't a wizard or giant, and this isn't a wizard or giant, but all of our cards are wizards. We literally have every creature in our deck is a wizard. What? 3? Wow, this card's actually pretty great in our deck, not going to lie. It's a little bit worse, I think, than some of these other cards because our card quality is so high. So I think I'm going to cut the Lityara Kinseekers. I think I'm going to cut the Invasion of Giants. I think the card is just a little bit worse than some of our other options. I think we can probably cut a Carful Harbinger as well because we have the triple Avalanche Caller as well to play early game, and we don't need that many early games. I like having 2 counterspells, I think, just because it gives me some flexibility and outs against various things my opponents might have. I like the 1 Run Ashore. It just gets a lot of use out of it. Yeah, Third of Behold is certainly better than Invasion. Behold is just a way better card than Invasion. It just does everything Invasion does, but it does it immediately pretty much. It's all skill, Magistorian. I did open the Torolf, to be fair, but most of my good cards got passed to me. Actually, I opened Cosima and Torolf, but honestly, if this deck didn't have Cosima and Torolf, I don't think it would be like... I think the deck would still be incredible. I like having 4 2-drops that I can play that are defensive. And this card seems like it's decent as a 1-of. It can help me cast my Behold the Multiverses, help me cast this Run Ashore, help me cast like my Counterspell. The Counterspell honestly could go. That could be something I consider cutting. It's not card advantage, though. This is not card advantage. This is card filtering. Okay, so I'm not going to play that. I think I'm going to keep only 1 Carful Harbinger in the deck. I guess this deck could be a tempo deck with 4 Bergstriders. I thought of it more of as a control deck that just goes to the late game and wins with Avalanche Callers. Kinseekers. I think we just make 1 more cut. I think 18 lands is correct for this deck. We have... Wow, all my cards lost their text. That's perfect, but I know what they do. So this is like a mana sink, lots of expensive cards. I think we could cut Disdainful Stroke for sure, yeah. That's a reasonable cut. We already have 1 Saw It coming, and Disdainful Stroke is a solid card, but nothing too powerful. So I think this is a good situation to be in. Yeah. I cut the Stroke, and I think we need 1 more cut still, right? Let's see. Nope, perfect. I cut it and it didn't mess up. It's so good that none of my cards get to have their text. So yeah, I think the Saw It Coming is probably my worst card. Because counterspells are just a little bit weak sometimes. Run Ashore is a card that I like having access to. It's just more interaction for cards that are maybe tough to deal with or gives me an extra chance to set up. So that's another card that I could consider cutting. Those are the 2 cards that I could consider cutting. I think the card that I would be most likely to add is Lityara Kinseekers, because literally every card in my deck is a wizard. But I'm not really a deck that necessarily always curves 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop to make it. But yeah, I don't think this Invasion is good enough, even though I have so many giants. It can also throw me off plan. Like, it can make it so that I kind of have to play a giant on that 1 turn when I don't really want to. Yeah, I think we're going to run it like this. These 2 cards are probably my worst 2 cards, but every card in this deck is an ace. I think this card's also one of my worst cards, so those 3 are the worst ones. But every other card, like, these are all premium. Like, I think I could reasonably expect myself to first pick any of these cards. I could first pick this, I could potentially first pick a Mistwalker. I could first pick any of these cards and be pretty okay with it. These 3 cards I wouldn't first pick. Are there any other cards in my sideboard that I'd be, like, over the moon playing? Like, I could play Disdainful Stroke, but I like Carful Harbinger just because my deck is so good that I don't want to get run over in the early game. I like Run Ashore for just a little bit of extra interaction because I have 2 Demon Bolts and a Squash, and after that it falls off. And similarly, Saw It Coming can also be interaction for whatever problematic card they have. Yeah. So that's my situation. And yeah, that's going to do it for the deck build. Our mana's pretty great. I think we do play these 2 tap lands. With 18 lands, even though we have 4 tap lands, it's going to be a little bit easier. Still going to be problematic to have 4 tap lands, but I think they're all worth playing. And the 2 extra snow lands help the Bergstriders and the Avalanche Callers. So every one of these tap lands is like a 4/4 in the late game. So that is going to do it for the build, and I will see you folks in the matches. Before I get to the matches, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support me and my content at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, and special thanks to those at the credits level. It is thanks to patrons that I'm able to steadily improve the quality of my videos and produce content on a consistent basis. Even just a couple bucks a month goes a long way, and there are a host of cool rewards you gain access to by becoming a patron. One perk of particular note is my card-by-card grade spreadsheet for Strixhaven, which will provide you with my up-to-date thoughts on every card in the set. If my content has provided you with some value, please consider supporting my work on Patreon because it really makes a big difference. Without further ado though, let's get to the matches. Welcome to round 1. We have a fantastic hand here. 2 Snowlands, Removal, Bergstrider, and Run Ashore. And 4 lands, so we will be looking for some card draw. I probably should have played a Snowland, but you know, just in case we had to discard. It looks like the game is lagging a tiny bit. This hand does want card draw because, I don't know, card draw is good when you have 4 lands and a lot of big plays and stuff. Every hand is fantastic. Well, I'm sure there's not every hand, but we'll have to see. So they may be playing elves. We'll have to see. Yeah, it's a little bit slow. I'll probably have to restart the client after this game. But yeah, I did change my overlay so that I'm now in the corner and everything is, and I'm a little bit bigger, but yeah. Cool things. Okie doke. Thank you, Arbate. I'm just passing. I'm taking some damage. Once they play something that I care about, I can kill it. I care about that a lot more than their other cards. Yeah, this is a little bit rough. See, look how good Behold is here. Here we go. We can even start turning the game around. We can bounce their token and put one of their cards on top of their deck. Thank you so much, Juanka Keyblade, for the subscription. I really appreciate that. So I want to be able to, after they put a counter on every elf, bounce this and put this on top of their deck, I think. I do kind of want to get this into play. So I think I'm going to play this and Bergstrider in the next turn before they can get their -1/-1 going. If they double block, I'm pretty happy. If they had drawn this a turn later, I would have been in much better shape. So there are some black elves that could be a problem, but currently we're going to be able to bounce the token, put this on top of their deck, and be in good shape. They could equip Elven Bow, which I'm also okay with. Ouch. So they can give something -3/-3. I'm just going to hold this land in case they have the Elvish card. No attacks. I'm going to make them stop on their draw step and turn. Put into its owner's library the Outrider, and then put this to their hand. And this way, when this comes back, I can kill it with my Frostpire. They don't have a follow-up play that's pretty good for me here. Sentinel. Okay, that dies to my Frostpire. That's a really good draw. Now, do I want to hold up Squash? This is going to be played, and they're probably going to equip it. So I think I do this. My Frostpire has a lot of potential. They know it's there, though, so they're not going to just get wrecked by it. Oh, I guess they are going to get wrecked by it. This is tough. This is a close game. Razor close. Beware of a second Shadow Sage. I'm dead to a combat trick, but you know. I'm in okay shape. They're going to re-equip this is the problem, but I can double burn it. Okay, this is perfect. Agar, sign me up. Hi, BP. I am going to squash this on end step. I guess I messed that up. I could have double blocked this thing. I could like squash this, see if it resolves, and then double block this. I felt like they might have a combat trick though, and I'd rather blow them out then. Like if they have +4/+4, I go for squash. They give it +4/+4, and then I'm screwed. I hope they don't have Raise the Dragger. If they do, I'm in trouble anyway. Oh, that's a game changer. So I can play this, and I can play my Demon Bolt. 4, 7. So if I draw a land, I can animate 2 lands. Otherwise, I can just play my Avalanche Caller. They do have Raise the Dragger. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, man. Oh, couldn't they have just not top decked perfectly down the stretch? I don't know. That was tough. Oh, I needed literally one more turn. If they had drawn that 2 turns later, I guess it was 2 cards deep. Oh my gosh. That's so unfortunate. Real unfortunate. I mean, their deck wasn't as good as my deck is. I don't know. They needed to draw that card of that turn where they lost. I think they had to get Skempar twice. I don't know. That was unfortunate. I guess I needed to just not kill Skempar Shadow Sage to play around that. So if I just like block and I never kill the Skempar Shadow Sage, I'm just like on block duty. I guess I could eventually punch through it. Huh. That's tough. Real tough. I'm a little bit disappointed that we lost that one. It felt really close. I did make a couple of aggressive attacks, but getting them low means that I can like kill them and stuff. So I made a couple of attacks with Bergstrider and I got punished by like Herald's Revenge and things like that. Huh. That's tough. Real tough. Welcome to round 2. We are looking to bounce back and we've got a great hand here. It is not a consensus, Ianerd. I don't think. I don't know if there's often consensus on this sort of thing. Yeah, my other hand also, I just didn't draw a card to play before turn 5 or something. I kept a 4-lander with a Bergstrider. I don't remember the exact key, but it was like 4 lands, Bergstrider, something. I have 2 more Avalanche Callers, so I'm fine just playing this to prevent some damage. Okay, we will foretell. I'm totally fine just playing the hammer part, equipping it, zapping something. So the fact that this is a 2/4 is a little bit frustrating for that part, but maybe we just play a 5/4. I think I'm going to do that. It's not my favorite use of the card. I'd rather just use the hammer over and over, but I don't have a turn 4 play. I don't want them to kill my caller and just smack me for 6 and then Bergstrider me or something. Oh my god. That did not go well. I don't use 17 lands currently, BP Nice Guy. I don't want to overtax my computer mostly is the reason. Well, you can catch the YouTube video later, BP Nice Guy. I post my drafts to YouTube. This one's definitely going up. The draft itself was very good. The matches are not playing out particularly well for me, though. It's cost the mana cost, I think it does, right? Yep, okay. I have just a laptop. Hmm. Maybe I was supposed to use this chance to kill the troll. Maybe. Actually, probably. This thing had a counter on it or something? No, it didn't. Maybe I messed that up. Yeah, because it was +2/+1. Wasn't it? It was a 4 or 5. How did it have? It did have a counter on it, right? Oh, a troll. You can't assign damage like that. You have to try to kill a creature before you assign damage to the other one. Oh, if they equip, they're in so much trouble. Yikes. Yeah, I don't have auto-assigned combat damage on. I can make 2 4/4 lands, so they have to come up with some sort of blocker here. Okay, so they have a 4/4. And they're dead. Perfect. The little tempo plays from the Bergstriders coming in clutch. Also, this Rimewood Fall is coming in clutch. Got the win. That was a nice little bounce back. $18 lands has felt pretty decent so far. Ooh, nice. We ranked up. Feels good. Okay, that's cool, BP Nice Guy. Yeah, I think I'm going to set it up for Strixhaven so that I'll have like all of my Strixhaven data in it. Because I do like 17 lands and stuff like that. I actually am in a data visualization class, and they have some coding like data sets with like thousands of like data points. So I might like use the 17 lands data to make some graphs and stuff. Because that seems like it could be really fun for me like to do as like a little fun like way to look at specific things I want to in the data. Easy keep. We have 3 different options for turn 2. Yeah, that's awesome, BP. It's cool to have some stats stuff to be able to do. I am going to play. So this is probably a Cyril's Packmate, which means I want to be able to kill it immediately. And I don't really care about missing on the 1 damage, but I do want to be able to kill their 3/3. I almost always just assume it's Cyril's Packmate because that's what it often is. It is not. Okay. Well then. We will play this. We will play the Avalanche Caller. And we will Demon Bolt this. Because we don't want to take... We'll end up taking 8 damage if I don't do that now. Because I'm not going to block it this turn, and I won't be able to block it next turn, really. Unless I like double block with Avalanche Callers. Okay, so this is probably Struggle for Skemfar, or at least has a decent chance of being Struggle for Skemfar. So now I don't have to play the Alpine Meadow for a couple turns because I have 2 untapped lands. So I'm just going to go this Foretell. Play this guy. And here we go. Bash in for 1, Avalanche Caller, do your worst. So this is not the Iron Price card, Iron Verdict. It's probably Struggle for Skemfar if I had to guess. So I'll have to try and keep them off of creatures that can use it properly. Okay, yep, that's really bad for me. Actively bad. Holy heck, that's not good. Could be Mammoth Growth, but people don't play that card. No blocks. I'll keep this guy tapped. It could be Mammoth Growth. I think it's less likely to be Struggle for Skemfar now because they would have used it that turn, I think, to kill one of these bad boys. I hate Snakeskin Veil so much. Not because I think it's bad, but because it always wrecks me. It's a vengeful hatred. Next turn I can hold up Saw It Coming and I can cast Behold and then hold up Saw It Coming. Sorry for biting my nails. It's not a great sound effect, I know. My bad. Stalwart Valkyrie, okay. They're attacking me still? Is it +4/+4? Maybe it is. I don't particularly want to find out. If it is, it's going to be tough to beat because they're going to hit me for like 10 next turn maybe. Okay, that's helpful. I think we start with this. I kind of want the Snow Mountain, not going to lie. But I also don't really want to draw lands. Actually, this card's going to be really good. I think I want this Frostpire. Oh, yes, I definitely want the Frostpire. I don't have another red source. Maybe I was actually supposed to keep both. Oh no, I only need one more red mana. Perfect. Okay. So this turn, I can use Saw It Coming, counter whatever they have. Is going to turn into gain 4 life, but that's all I need. I only need 4 life to win. Potentially. Sure. They will get to save a creature from Frostpire. The third Saga is not going to matter by the time this comes around, though. Oh, look at here. It is a Mammoth Growth. Chat was right. Chat called it way earlier than I did. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to counter the Mammoth Growth and win. And this way they attack, use all their mana. I have Saw It Coming, chat. What do you mean they win? Or so they think. Jeez Louise. Savage. Gaelon just like savage his opponent. He's probably like, if he's in paper here, he's just like shaking his head, like telling his opponent GG. Nice. They're boasting. The old boasting away. Oh. Are they going to cast it? Are they going to cast it? I'm ready. Nice. Got them! Go team! Oh no, I'm at 4 life. But why would I chump block if I can just win? Literally saw it coming from a mile away. Whew. That was close. That was like real close. You like the boast on their part? It's actually kind of a cool synergy with the Raiders card because they got to like look at the top card of their deck. They saw that it was they saw which spell it was, and then they decided they didn't want it, so they shuffled it away. Wow, triple avalanche caller, pretty broken. That card just like sits in play and then does 8 damage. 360 no scoped the growth. Well, to be fair, I literally thought it was every other possible foretell card, and then I came to growth at the end. I was like, fine, it can't be anything else. It has to be growth. It was like, well, I'm going to play this because it's probably Pac-Mate. And I'm like, well, they probably have struggle for Skemparth. This isn't going to go well for me. And then I was like, well, it's not the Iron Verdict, so what else could it possibly be? It was more so had to come to that conclusion eventually. But it worked out. They went for the line. They didn't play around my uncommon counterspell, the only card that could have stopped that pretty much. Or I guess I could have had removal. You thought it was Starnheim Unleashed and I was going to get blown away. This is another good hand. It's funny because this hand doesn't have like any of my best cards in it, but it's still very good. Like a couple of good blue commons. Just 4 lands. Both colors. And the skipper. Hello, Avalanche Caller. Long time no see. I can't tell which Avalanche Caller is which, is the problem. There's the skipper. Avalanche Caller. That's my impression of Dick Van Dyke doing an English accent. I don't want people to think that I have a terrible English accent. I just want people to think that I have a great Dick Van Dyke accent from Mary Poppins. Hello, Governor. Sorry, he doesn't even say that, I don't think. This game so far, I guess there is an argument for just holding up Avalanche Caller there, but I'd rather do that next turn when I have Behold the Multiverse mana. And this turn I can just hold up double blocks or single blocks or things like that. So there is an argument for being like, well, I can just represent this thing, but I'll just do that next turn and cast a Behold on there instead. Oh no! Top of the morning to you. That's real bad for me. No. Unfortunate. Top of the morning to you. I think I still cast Behold the Multiverse here, or I could just go for the double pump. It's a double pump. Plays around Run Amok. And I can try to find removal here. I need removal spells. I don't need this counter spell. Mumbo Jumbo. Bum ba da bum. This is not going well. Raven's Wings is a huge issue. I just can't win. Yikes. Oh my gosh. I'm just dead on board now, essentially. Can't really ever come back from this. We'll try our best, though. Put something on top, bounce something else. Actually, I really messed this up. I could have bounced. I forgot that I could bounce the equipment. Oh my goodness. Gracious me. So I return to its owner's library. So I think I put the Raven. Because I can just bounce the dwarf with. I can just put this into the library, and I can return the Story Seeker to their hand, and then I can just block this guy. Demon Bolt, that's huge. Well, so I want to be able to animate as many lands as possible. I can animate 2 lands next turn, but this turn I think I have to spend casting spells. So I think I'm going to cast this and Demon Bolt. And we'll hold up the Avalanche Caller as well. Well, I'm okay with them casting another one of the tokens, I think. Sure. Resolve. So I have to kill one of them. The question is, can I then win on the backswing? If I kill one of them, they have 1 blocker. Like if I just chumped one of them, they have 1 blocker. I have 1, 2, 3. I can make 2 more attackers that matter. So I can't do that. So I have to just try and kill the one that's going to do the most. This is going to do the most if I block it. So if I double block the Axe Guard in the air and pump one of my guys and then chump block this thing. That's tough, but I think it's the block I have to make. I go to 2. Ugh, that was tough. I'm like 1 land off of me. I haven't been able to win that. So I have to kill that. Now the question becomes, they're going to play a Story Seeker. Do I just chump this and not let it die? Because that gives them another blocker. So if I just chump it, they stay at 12. They play this. I can animate 3 lands, hit them for 16. Currently I have 2, this is 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can animate 2 lands and pump this once. So that means that I can do 2 damage with that, but they'll get another blocker. So I think I just chump. So if I just chump, they have 1 blocker. If I top deck a land, I win. Yeah, I know they have Story Seeker. Oh, yeah, maybe that's right. Yeah, yeah. This would be 4, 8, 12, 16. They'd stop 4 of it, and they'd gain 2. So I think I do have to just trade and then hope to draw a removal spell. I guess the 1/1's also a problem. But we'll deal with that later. But I guess then they'd have to chump block. Yeah. Okay, so I can't win here. Do I even have 2 removal spells left? Oh, if that was just anything but a Beskir Shieldmate, we would have been fine here. So I think I have to cast this, look for 2 removal spells. I have Squash. And what else could I draw? Squash, Demon Bolt. Got a 2 outer. And I have to hit the exact 2. Oh, Torolf would have been good. Oh man, that was such a close game. We were 1 token away. If the Story Seeker didn't have lifelink, we would have won. They gained like 4 life over the course of the game. And if we had, because we had enough to do 12 to them, but they were gaining 2 from their Story Seeker. Oh, that's so painful. The chump block with the Mistwalker was such an interesting spot. Oh, man, that was close. Because we could have just chumped it. They wouldn't have gotten a 1/1 blocker, and then we're just dead to the Beskir Shieldmate the next turn. But man, that was close. Real close. It was closer than I thought it was going to be, honestly. I think there were some really tough lines in there that I had to find to give myself a chance. No, they would, Danny, because they would have the Beskir Shieldmate in the air that I wouldn't have blocked from the turn before. So I had to be able to kill them the following turn. Because they would still have the Shieldmate. This is a good hand again. That was a really close game, though. If they had drawn 1 less Tormentor's Helm, I think we would have maybe been able to end that game and win. Oh, real close. Oh dear. Well, this could be how we end to thunderous applause. Oh gosh. I was literally praying to draw Torolf here. Wait, did I do this wrong? I did do this wrong. I miscalculated. To be fair, I've never played with this before. In my head, it cost 4 mana to use, which it does, but I'm going to lose because of that, probably. Yikes. They just squashed my guy. Yeah. It's 2 to attach. It costs 6 mana overall. It's like a 6 mana lightning bolt over and over. Oh my god. Need to hit my lands. Wow. Just get wrecked. You love to see it. I'm still alive. Gosh. This is tough. Why couldn't I have won the die roll this game? Or, like, read my card? If they attack with everything, I'm in great shape, though. If I had just cast Torolf instead of the hammer, I would have been way better spot. Really? Well, that's good. Nope and nope. They gotta have a counterspell or something. I can't beat a counterspell, so I'm just gonna pretend they don't have it. Dang it. Yep. Oh, that felt bad. I botched it. If I just played Torolf instead of trying to kill their guy with the hammer, I just counted the way it worked wrong. That felt really unfortunate. I feel like that deck was better than it performed. I also felt like I played pretty well, except for that one blunder with the hammer, which is a card I've literally never cast before in my life, so I'm going to forgive myself on that one. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that it cost 2 to cast, and then it was like 2 to use. I forgot that it cost 2 to equip. Yikes. That was tough. I don't know, the deck was pretty good. Every card was like first pick quality, which is pretty nice. Always good to have in a deck. Unfortunately, did not avail us the victories we sought. But that's the way it goes sometimes. We faced some tough matchups. That last one, if we'd been on the play, we would have been in a good spot, I think. I don't think we can fault the deck, really. We had a 2-drop every single game, so I don't think it was an early plays problem, Danny Boonstra. Because we played Avalanche Caller on turn 2, I think, every single game. And then we just, like, lost by inches in a lot of our games. So, that game against the Agar, if we'd been on the play against Agar, it would have been a pretty different story because we wouldn't have gotten completely hosed. Also, if I just played Torolf, it would have been... I mean, Torolf probably would have gotten tapped instead of the 1-3, but so I still would have taken a bunch of damage. But then I would have had a 5-4 in play to help me against their stuff, and my squash would have been much better. because I could have squashed the Mistwalker, killed the 2/1 or whatever, but that's neither here nor there. That's how it goes sometimes. Pretty tough defeat, honestly. The deck was great, I think. I would run it back in a second. One of the better decks I've had in the format. It just so happened that things didn't line up well. We lost to that last deck. We lost to that very aggressive deck. And I'm trying to think of the other deck that we lost to. I think it was in the first round we lost to something. Black-green elves. Oh, right. We lost that razor close one to them having raised the Dragger on the key turn. I think we were on the draw all 3 of the games we lost probably. And just couldn't overcome the fast starts. So that's how it goes sometimes. I think Bergstrider is a pretty key component to our deck, and I don't think we cast as many Bergstriders in the games we lost. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. You have a great deck, and you don't always get the wins that you want, but you just have to battle through it. That is going to do it for this draft video, though. I do hope you enjoyed it, even though we didn't get wins. It was still a lot of fun, especially during the draft portion. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. Remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell so you get notified when I post future videos. And if you have any feedback, or you want to just let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video, leave a hashtag #firstpickquality to let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video, because I honestly think that pretty much our entire deck is something that is like cards you would first pick, and our mana base is fantastic as well. So this is one of the better decks I've had, even though it didn't necessarily perform as well. So hashtag #firstpickquality to let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video. Remember that if you would like to catch the Twitch stream live, you can do so at twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas. You can also support my content directly via the Patreon at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. If you would like to read my articles, which are free, or join the NicolaiBolas Discord server, which is also free. You can find links to that in the description and pinned comment. But yeah, that is going to do it for the video. I really do hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you next time.